Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Cunningham and welcome to my virtual algebra classroom. So this is how we prefer to see your student. Not like this. So here are just a few tips that we can discuss. So first of all, I know their time's valuable. So I always start class on time and I always try to use the class time as effective and efficiently as possible. So I do my synchronous and asynchronous teaching and learning and plan that out to make sure they're getting the most well-deserved education they deserve. So I always suggest that they get involved with school. I know that we are distance learning right now, but clubs and sports and activities are still meeting. So they can ask their social emotional learning teacher or me and ask for ways to get involved. The more involved they are with school, it helps them to relax, find connections, and pursue their passions. So another thing is they should expect homework every time we meet. So we have 3 days a week, so they should expect homework 3 days a week. Good attendance is always important, whether we're in class or physically or digitally. So I ask that they do their best to make it to class and be on time. If they can't, I just ask that they communicate. Prior communication's always great, and I'll always do my best to accommodate as needed. Lastly, I always encourage them to ask me any questions, speak up in class or email me, and just get involved in that way so that I can help them. So about my class, you'll see pictures of geometry projects I like to do at the end of the year and some algebra projects I like to do. I'm working on thinking of ways to do projects while we're in distance learning, so stay tuned on that. I like to vary my teaching methods, always of course aligned with our Common Core state initiatives. So I like to do hands-on teaching, direct teaching, student-led, project-based learning, which is PBL, a flipped classroom, and I'll vary my methods because students have strengths and weaknesses in their learning styles. So I like to try and access their strengths and then help them improve on their weaknesses in terms of learning. So some days they're not always going to like my teaching method, and that's okay. My job is to push them, to help them become better students and better mathematicians. Some days they may really love the assignment I give. Maybe it's group work and they love it, or it's group work and they hate it. Either way, I just ask that they do their best and put their best foot forward. I said earlier, homework is expected each day unless it's a test day. I don't give homework on a test day. I have a typo here in terms of a calculator, not a graphing calculator, a scientific calculator or better. Okay, so now you can also see how I write on my screen. So a scientific calculator or better. I have a graphing calculator here, which is great. They're just very expensive, so don't feel like you have to go out and buy this. I put on my classroom, Google Classroom, some scientific calculators that are fabulous as well. The calculator just needs to be able to do sine, cosine, tangent, all that trig functions, and then the squared functions, the square root. That way they're set up for success. All notes and videos and homework are posted on my Google Classroom, which I'm going to take you there now. So let me take you to my Google Classroom. So here's Algebra Period 1. They're all the same, no matter what period you're in. So I'm going to scroll down. Here is my stream page, and this is where I just give them information. What they can expect is I like to give a week at a glance so they can see what's happening for the week. I post that over the weekend so they can see what I'm expecting of them coming. And then if you scroll down below, far below is where I talk about school supplies. So a scientific calculator or better, I've linked a couple. I'm not sponsored by Texas Instruments. They just happen to be my favorite. I'm not sponsored by Amazon. I just thought this would be a quick link, okay? Wherever you choose to find them is up to you. And so if we click on classwork, now this is how the students will see it. They're going to see their homework and assignments lined up here. And then they're going to see their important information here where they can find my syllabus, my Zoom link, sign up for my office hours, and our bell schedule and bell schedule template, which I gave to them. So let me get back to our presentation. Okay, so that was our Google Classroom. Now to keep moving, a little bit about me. I'm a mom of one to a son named Parker, and he's 1.5, and he's just wonderful. And I earned my undergrad and master's degree from Pepperdine. I'm also an adjunct professor at Pepperdine's Graduate School of Education and Psychology. So I teach pre-service teachers who are getting into the career of teaching. Before teaching, I had previous careers in engineering and advertising, where I worked at Sandia National Laboratories in the explosive components facility for a little bit, and then jumped ship to go into advertising at Leo Burnett and Saatchi LA. From then, I realized teaching is my passion, so I quit my job, went back to grad school, and I've been teaching for 10 years at Miracosta. I had previous little stints, at a high school drug rehab center in Malibu, and also I taught in London in Hyde Park, and I taught small children. I love to travel. I haven't traveled in a while due to the given situations, but I love to learn new things and explore. I live locally in Redondo Beach, and I just love being a teacher. So guys, with this distant learning happening, communication is so important. So I really want to encourage you and your student to email me at any time. I have a unique email that's a little bit rogue from the rest. I have this L here for my middle name. There's already a K Cunningham that is owned by another educator on our campus. So I'm KL Cunningham, okay? My motto is you can never communicate enough. So if your student knows they're going to be absent or something's coming up, all I ask is prior communication, and we can always find some sort of workaround. They can email me with questions, concerns, comments, and I'm always happy to hear from you and your students. This is their learning experience, and we're all learning it together. So thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in, and feel free to reach out for any questions, concerns, or comments. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.